Hi everybody, it's Coach Rob from Positive Performance Coaching, and this is a coach's log here on our YouTube channel. I am out and about again, riding the back roads in central Kentucky. It's absolutely stunning, beautiful day, blue skies, not much in the way of clouds of any, and low humidity. Temperature is just perfect. Yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. I kind of pushed this last hill. What I wanted to talk to you guys and gals today is a bit about a method of training that has come up recently in my practice and in discussion and requests and things like that. And what we're talking about is two-a-days. And what are we talking about? Training twice a day. Is it right for you? How does it work? Are there any benefits or pros, cons, that sort of thing? So let's go ahead and jump right into it, because these coaches logs they're not very long when we're outdoors. So a two-a-day is quite simple. You're going to train twice a day. Now that training could be a very interesting mix. It could be an early auxiliary training session, or it could be a late auxiliary training session. One of them should be more than likely your primary sport: cycling, running, swimming, what have you. And in this particular case, let's go ahead and pick on a cyclist. And let's say that the first thing that the cyclist is going to focus on is the primary sport. So they're going to get out and they're going to do intervals. They may do a long endurance ride, what have you. And then later in the day, they're going to go to the gym, or they're going to be at home, and they're going to be doing body weighted exercises, core flexibility, what have you. That would be a traditional two-a-day. However, many of my athletes over the years have maybe gotten that a little bit mixed up or confused. And they think that what a two-a-day is that I'm going to go out and ride hard in the morning, and I'm going to go out and ride hard in the afternoon. Triathletes are very common to this practice because they have 3 sports to train for. And depending on who you talk to, maybe 4 if you're trying to practice your transitions. And in that, you've got a run in the morning, a swim in the evening. And the next day, you've got a ride in the morning and a swim in the evening. On the day after that, you've got a swim in the morning and a lift at night. So it's a very common practice in triathlon circles and multi-sport circles to have a couple of different workouts throughout the day. Now, pros and cons. Triathletes, duathletes, aquabike, aquathon, you don't have a choice. You're training for 2, 3, and the kind of the running joke, 4 sports. And in this, you don't have much of a choice. If you're going to be effective at all, much less competitive, you're going to have to train multiple times throughout the day. Whereas a pure cyclist, pure runner, let's talk about what that might look like. We've already talked about how you could add auxiliary training in, but why would you want to ride twice a day or run twice a day? Well, one, I probably wouldn't want you to run twice a day, but there are some circumstances where that does make sense. It's about the simple fact that you don't have a block of time to dedicate to 2 to 3 hours during maybe the work week. And what you do have is an hour in the morning and maybe an hour and a half at night. Then guess what? That you do the best you can with what you have, folks. I have trained a lot of commuters, cyclists specifically, that like to ride to work and ride home from work. This is a wonderful example of how to split up your day and train accordingly. And which part of the days where you do the hard work, which part of the days where you do the easy work, can you do both in the same day? Depends on the athlete, depends on their demands on energy. If they're going to be in a high stress job, or a job that requires a lot of physical labor, then they're probably going to want to ease into the day and then use whatever they have left at the end of the day on the way home. Now, if that's not your case and you're just trying to find time, then you could split that any way. It also depends on your sport and how close you're coming to an event or race that you're trying to get ready for. The other thing to think about too is this. The two-a-day came about primarily to break up multi-sports so that you can have, 1, 2, sometimes 3 different training sessions throughout the day to address various training factors or strengths and weaknesses that are trying to be developed. But when you took a look at high school sports, college sports, the two-a-day came about quite often because of temperature. When we're talking about the summer here or in the United States or North America, and you're talking about winters in Australia and other places in Asia, you're talking about very hot, humid conditions. Well, guess what? The best weather for this, the most optimal weather in that temperature range for training is going to be very early in the morning and just before the sun goes down at night. So that's another reason for 2-a-days. If you're kind of confused and you're still not sure if a 2-a-day makes sense for you and you're one of my athletes, let's talk about it. If you're new to the channel and you're curious about this and you've got other questions about 2-a-days and how they may benefit you, let me know in the comments below. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your training week.